quick little thumbnail definition of contentment. Contentment is independence from circumstances.
All right.
To be content is to be independent of your circumstances. Meaning that you do not base your happiness on the situation around you. We must learn that happiness comes from within. So how do you get contentment? How do you get satisfaction in life? Paul says simply right there in verse 11, he says, I have learned. Touch somebody and say, contentment is learned. So we must understand that contentment is not an instant process. That it takes time. It is not a one-time experience, but God has enrolled each of us in the school of contentment. The problem is that many of us have flunked the class because we die and live all of our lives and come to the end of that life and we're unfulfilled and unsatisfied and unhappy. So how do you learn contentment? Y'all ask good questions. Well, Paul gives three lessons to learn in raising our contentment level in order to be satisfied with life. The very first thing that we need to learn is to learn to avoid comparisons. If you really want to be content, you've got to stop comparing yourselves to others. See, when we compare ourselves to others, it will automatically lead to discontent. The B part of verse 11, he says, I have learned to be content with whatever the circumstances. That I've learned not to compare myself with others. Are y'all listening to me? The reason why we don't compare ourselves with others is because there will always be somebody that has a little more money than you have. Some people will be afforded opportunities that you won't have. There will be folk that have less problems than you have. And so you cannot go around comparing yourself to other people as a basis of your contentment or your happiness. Amen. See, as believer, Paul says it like this in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18. He says, we look not at the things which are seen, because the things which are seen are only temporary. Amen. He said, they are passing away. They're fleeing. He said, but we as Christians, as believers, look at the things which are not seen, meaning we don't look with the natural eye, but we look with a spiritual eye. Amen. We look at the things which are not seen. For the things which are not seen are eternal. Are y'all listening to me? Yeah. He says, for us as believers, we need not to set our affections on things on this earth, where rust and moth do destroy. But he says, set your affections on things above. Amen. Come on, talk about it. Tell them, raise your sights. Amen. You got to look beyond what you can see in the natural and grab hold of what God has for you in the supernatural. Amen. He says that I'm not basing my contentment, my happiness, what I'm able to see. Are y'all listening to me? But I'm basing it up on things which are eternal. See, there are three misconceptions about happiness. And the very first one is that we believe, and the misnomer is that I must have what others have to be happy. And that's not a truth. That's a lie straight from the pit of hell. That I've got to have what you have in order to be happy. Amen. That's what keeps fads alive. Amen. That's what keeps one designer over the other designer, because we look and see somebody's alone. I just got the latest handbag, but oh Lord, look at that one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I have a brand new car. I have the latest car, but here we go. Something else. And we have a covetous nature in us that no matter what we have, we always want something else. Amen. And sometimes it's just because you got it. It thing is that not only do we feel that what others have will make us happy, but that I must be liked by everybody in order to be happy. Yeah. See, we spend too much time trying to get the approval of other folks. And I learned the other day, if you're going to do anything worthwhile, there's going to be somebody that's not going to like the fact that you're trying to advance. Are y'all listening to me? Amen. That's haters. Everybody's not going to like. Matter of fact, Jesus already knew that he couldn't please everybody. So why are you going to be foolish enough to think that you can please everybody? Amen. The third thing is that having more will make me happier. Just having more will make me happier. Howard Hughes was asking the question, how much more money does a man need to be happy? And he said, just $1 more. Amen. But our problem is that as our income goes up, so does our expenses. At least that's how it works in my house. Are y'all listening to me? 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6 to 8, Timothy says it like this. He says, godliness with contentment is great gain. Thank you, Bishop. He says, for we brought nothing into this world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, he said, we'll be content with that. He says, godliness with contentment. See, now you must understand, the world, well, if you listen to the world,